Week back a day. Betsy's off. Sara Shookman is here. I'm Jay Crawford. Sara, a very good Wednesday to you and to our audience watching at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me today. It's been busy. There's been a lot going on this afternoon, and we were just sorting out some little tech issues, so it's okay. We don't know what day it is, but we're ready to go now, right?
We absolutely are.
A lot of our conversation this afternoon has centered around all of these new developments with the coronavirus. So happening now, maybe you've heard, the Omicron variant is here. The first confirmed case in the U.S. has been detected in California. The CDC said this afternoon the fully vaccinated traveler returned from South Africa on November 22nd and tested positive a week later on Monday. The person is said to have mild symptoms and has not received a booster shot. Now, this is some news in ways that everyone expected, but the variant has been found in more than 24 countries worldwide now and is still being met with new concern as we enter December, a busy holiday travel season. Several countries have instituted travel bans. The World Health Organization is now advising people 60 and up or those with underlying conditions like heart disease and cancer to postpone all travel. Local docs I talked with today say it's time to take stock of your own risk tolerance.
It's not that any particular country right now is more dangerous than another country, because probably all of these variants have spread, by the time the country travel bans come out. And so I think it's more about saying, well, look at your own risk, look at your loved ones' risks. And if those risks are high, avoid doing risky things like being around others in close quarters without a mask.
Yes, and as he said, that is the concern here, that, what can you do at this point? You can get that booster shot. Staying safe doesn't have to mean staying home. The booster shot is recommended for any adult that was fully vaccinated before June 1st. And rapid testing, ventilation, and some other strategies can also help mitigate your risks when you're meeting with family or a group of people. Now, tomorrow, Jay, President Biden is expected to announce perhaps some more stringent testing requirements, particularly around international travel, and maybe some other steps too. But he said today those would not include shutdowns or lockdowns. These are more preventative measures.
Yeah, Sara, we keep, as much as we want this to go away, we're not going to wish it away. We're not. And there was some very troubling news here locally. When the Ohio numbers came out today, we all sort of looked at them and said, wait a minute, this is a huge jump. In fact, today's number of new cases is our highest one-day total in almost 3 months. Ohio reporting just under 9,000 new COVID cases just in the last 24 hours. But perhaps more troubling is the fact that we've seen just under 900 new hospitalizations over the past 2 days. And again, yes, there are breakthrough cases. Those are cases where people that have been fully vaccinated still get the virus. But the vast majority of the new cases and the new hospitalizations are still amongst the 38% plus in Ohio that are not vaccinated.
Yeah, I talked to Cleveland Clinic again today. They said they're seeing about 85% of their positive tests, just the test results that come back, those are among unvaccinated people. About 15% are the breakthrough cases. It was interesting to me that the Omicron case, this first one in California, that's a breakthrough case.
Yes.
This is in a fully vaccinated traveler, but one who had been to South Africa, where we know this has been community spread there. Yeah,
there's still so much we don't know about Omicron. Scientists are theorizing that it will be far more contagious than even the Delta variant because of these evolutions that the virus has undergone. We don't know yet at this point if it's going to make people that get it as sick or more sick. That's going to take some time before we find that out.
Yep.
And now an update for you on that massive water main break in Richmond Heights. We told you about this yesterday. It happened in the AM. Just this afternoon, a boil advisory was finally lifted. Crews are now preparing to dig in that area beginning tomorrow, but repairs are expected to last several weeks. Manny Abraham joins us live now with more on those construction plans. And also, Manny, a look into Cleveland's aging infrastructure. Good evening to you, Manny.
Good evening. Yeah, today equipment was brought in to start that digging phase, which is expected to start tomorrow. But as you mentioned, this could take several weeks before this road opens. Now, still no word on the possible cause for that main break, but a Case Western Reserve researcher we spoke to says about 40% of Cleveland's water mains are around 100 years old. So aging and cold weather can play a role in that. We talked to the city's assistant engineer, Chris Courtney, who says this is a sign of just how important infrastructure is to our daily lives.
It's one of those things, it's out of sight, out of mind. As long as it's working, nobody worries about it. As soon as it stops working or has a problem working, we start to see major problems that disrupt our lives. But there's a lot of work to be done on our country's infrastructure.
And that work requires time and money. Repairs on Tuesday's transmission main is expected to take several weeks. Those we spoke to today say there's no real easy solution, but it'll no doubt take time and money. Cleveland Water has designs in place for a capital improvement project, specifically to renew the main, and that could be about $6.5 million. Wow. Back to you, Jay.
All right, Amani Abraham live tonight on What's New. Amani, thank you.
The fate of legal abortion in the U.S. is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. Justices heard arguments today on a Mississippi law which bans most abortions 15 weeks after conception. It's the most direct challenge to Roe v. Wade that the High Court has taken up in a generation. Both sides made their case today.
They have no basis in the Constitution. They have no home in our history or traditions. They've damaged the democratic process. They poison the law. They've choked off compromise.
Viability, it seems to me, doesn't have anything to do with choice. But if it really is an issue about choice, why is 15 weeks not enough time?
The court's conservative majority appeared willing to overturn Roe, or at least eliminate its key provision, as you heard there, which prevents states from banning abortion before a fetus can live outside the womb, viability, or around 24 weeks after conception. The court will likely issue its ruling on today's Mississippi case in June.
Well, it is December 1st, as we know, and decorating season has kicked into high gear. Christmas now just 24 days away. Folks are going all out, decking the halls and their trees and houses with the festive lights. January Keaton shows us one beautiful holiday display in Strongsville and has tips on how to decorate safely.
It's actually an honor to be able to bring so much joy to people.
Every year, neighborhoods in Berea, parts of Cleveland Heights, and here in Strongsville, just to name a few, go all out with spectacular holiday displays.
68,000 lights, about 25 different motors, 50 sequencers, and an awful lot of stuff.
Dan Hogue decorates like nobody's business, but a cancer diagnosis kept his display away last year. 7 months of chemo and months of recovery later.
Well, I told him I would be back, but I was just hopeful at the time.
That hope paid off, and his merry monstrosity is back. But safety, Dan says, is still job one, and power tops the list.
If you don't have enough power, don't even bother to start. I ended up having 3 fires because of the electricity.
That was from stringing together too many lights and overloading outlets. Christmas trees near open flames, also huge fire hazards this time of year. According to the National Fire Protection Association, candles alone cause an average of 20 home fires a day in the United States, peaking in December and January.
We suggest people use electric candles instead of candles with a real flame.
And check your decorations before you hang them.
They check those wires, make sure that those wires aren't frayed, that there's no metal showing, that the insulation is all intact.
And never, ever be a Clark Griswold.
There was too many plugs, too much power being drawn on circuits.
Oh, wow. Boy, you're lucky you didn't burn your house down, huh?
Well, that's what my wife said.
Man, I hate hearing my laugh on camera. On film. Don't you guys? Anyway, now these lights, here we are down here in Public Square. As you can see, the lights are always beautiful and stunning every single year. As far as your own lights go, as you know, we were talking about safety, you guys. There are certain things that I didn't even think about, like remove your stockings before you light your fireplace. The Red Cross says they see fires behind things like that, all kinds of stuff you might not know about. So if you want to know all of these tips to decorating safely, you know I put them on our website, WKYC.com. You can go there and search them, Jay.
Yeah, January, from someone who has overloaded a circuit or two with Christmas lights, I know it's easy to happen. You just have to make sure that you're not putting too many cords, excuse me,
absolutely,
on one circuit.
I mean, it's funny in the movie, but we don't want people to do it in real life.
No. January, thanks. Excuse me. Well, Cleveland basketball fans, get ready. The NBA All-Star event's just around the corner now. It's hard to believe, too. Today, tickets for the NBA Crossover Immersive Fan Event went on sale. The exhibition will bring together an intersection of basketball and culture, and they'll do it by using art, fashion, music, technology, and entertainment. There will also be appearances from NBA and WNBA players. It'll take place at the Cleveland Public Auditorium Friday, February 18th through the 20th. Tickets will be $20. Hard to believe that's right around the corner. I remember when they announced that the All-Star Game was coming to Cleveland, and I thought, wow, how much fun. You're going to have the baseball All-Star Game. A couple years later, you'll have the NBA All-Star Game. It seemed like it was years off. It would never get here. And now we're just, it's in February.
I know, right? And I know there's still a lot of plans up in play because of the pandemic and how to control all of that. So to see this today was good. This was exciting news. I think that crossover event sounds like it will be really fun, and it kind of brings something for everybody, even if you're not the biggest basketball fan. Maybe you'll find something to get excited about.
And the thing of it is, tickets to the game are just about unscorable. They're very expensive, and they're spoken for. So if you want to enjoy the NBA All-Star Weekend, this is a great way to do it. It's $30. You go down, have fun. You can spend a whole day in there. It's always a lot to see.
Absolutely. Well, after the break now, in this week's Education Station, we are looking at how colleges are spending more energy checking on the mental health of students.
And even though it's been 17 years since Sex and the City wrapped its series, fans are going crazy waiting for the new movie, which is now a week and a day away.
Matt Wintz, are you one of them?
I am not. No, I don't think I ever will be either.
Not really, in your wheelhouse.
I will listen to the story, though. I'll tell you that. The other thing we've got going on across Northeast Ohio, a little bit of rain this evening, but then we're going to dry things out. We've got a pretty nice-looking day out ahead of us tomorrow, and then things will change this weekend. The big picture across the country, you can see we've got the rain moving through. We'll dry things out overnight. We'll set up a nice Thursday, and then we'll talk the weekend. We've got the latest guidance in terms of that storm next week coming up.
In this week's Education Station, the definition of student success is expanding thanks in part to COVID-19.
Danielle Wiggins looks at how administrators and students at a local university are focusing on mental health and positively impacting the college experience.
Adjusting to the pace of college life at Baldwin-Wallace University was overwhelming for Cincinnati native Emily Minch.
The first semester here was really hard mental health-wise. I was not doing well at all.
Emily says depression and anxiety even landed her in the hospital during the second semester of her freshman year. The same semester when higher education institutions across the country canceled in-person classes due to COVID-19.
It's hard when you're so isolated. That can cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression.
Headline after headline shows the pandemic's continuing impact on the mental health of college students.
We're seeing a continued increase in anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations, and self-harm.
Dr. Tamika Rashid is BW's new Vice President for Student Affairs. A top priority? Changing the culture at the 176-year-old institution to improve overall student well-being, with a focus on 3 distinct areas. Self-care, giving student life leaders room to take care of themselves first. Family connection, including parents and families of students in the communication process. And providing training and resources to better address mental health issues.
That's one thing that, if it slips, everything else, is not in place anymore.
BW added Jacket Care telehealth service in 2020, where the university's 3,300 students have access to free, round-the-clock medical and mental health care online. The university also provides students with free counseling, support Emily utilized her freshman year when she also reactivated BW's Active Minds chapter.
And we also have various resources for people.
An organization dedicated to raising mental health awareness.
I hope people stop shaming people about their mental illnesses and try to understand where people are coming from.
She also hopes focus on mental health doesn't take a backseat once we adjust to COVID's new normal. To Emily, the most important way to help is to openly talk about mental struggles so students like her can continue to walk out success in college. Danielle Wiggins, 3 News.
I think the key here is just that we need to pay attention. We need to, pay attention to our friends, our family members, more so now probably than ever. And because of that, Matt, that's going to be your weather word today. Attention. We'll drive that home. Pay attention to the mental health of your friends and families and coworkers.
Right. And I'm always telling you guys, pay attention to the weather forecast. And then 10 minutes later,
we are dialed in.
10 minutes after the weathercast. What's it going to do tomorrow? What's it going to do, Matt? I just told you 8 times, all right? So anyway, I'm just kidding.
We're
Absolutely.
listening.
Yeah, you don't have to. It'll change anyway. Let's get to know December, shall we? First day of the month. This is what we like to talk about in terms of average highs. We start at 45 degrees. That's our average today. 32 is the low. By the end of the month, we end up at 37 and 25. We average a foot of snowfall this month. If you're from Northeast Ohio, you get it. And in terms of daylight, this is where it gets interesting. We're going to lose about 10 minutes total on the month. But our sunset is going, don't ask me why, Jay Crawford, our sunset is going to start to get later. I think it's December 14th. So longest day of the year, right, is our first day of winter, but sunsets will start to get later, a little bit sooner than that. Wobble the earth. That's what Jay Reynolds says, our astronomer. All right, showers likely this evening. We've got showers around. They're moving from west to east. They'll continue to kind of float through. That's your fall sports forecast. We're dealing with the rain. Nothing particularly heavy. A couple moderate bursts here, especially Stark County near Alliance heading out of the viewing area, and then another heavier burst heading into Erie County that will traverse across the lake. So light rain over the next couple hours. Then again, as I mentioned, this thing's out of here. We turn our attention towards tomorrow's forecast because this is looking great. There's an area low pressure to the north. This is a strong one, but it's pulling up that warm air, and that warm, mild air will be here tomorrow, folks. We've got rising temperatures overnight tonight. We should stay dry for the majority tomorrow. Can't rule out a stray shower as that system passes by to the north, but these are pretty much your lows tonight. We're going to stay in the 40s. Temperature is going to remain steady, kind of rise throughout the early morning hours. Should be a beautiful start tomorrow morning. It'll feel pretty nice. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast has the rain clearing out. Notice we've got sunshine, couple hit or miss showers tomorrow morning. the wind is going to start cranking. If we ever get warmer air here this time of year, we've got to get it here via wind. So outside of the scattered showers, I do think we see some clearing. I'm getting aggressive on the temperatures. Models saying upper 40s, 50 degrees. Going a big 5-5 tomorrow. Double nickels, right? We'll see what happens. And then eventually the wind will continue to crank. It'll shift out of the west. And we're talking a much cooler day around here on Friday. What happens after that? Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Cooler on Friday. A little bit of rain and snow as a weak system moves through here. Not a big deal, though. 40 on Saturday, pretty nice. And then next week's storm system continues to look interesting. Right now I've got it rain to snow Monday and then snow on Tuesday. We'll take a fine-tooth comb to that forecast coming up in our next weather update, Sarah.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt. Still to come here on What's New, we now know who will be the next Bachelor when the series begins next month. Kiara has all the details next in Pop Break.
Hey, we're talking Sex and the City, and the reboot is called And Just Like That, and it's really hard to say sometimes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you since everything all happened.
Well, there is all kinds of buzz around the update to the long-running HBO series Sex and the City. I know Matt's not buying in, but man, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about this.
I'm excited. Kira Cotton, are you excited?
I am definitely excited. The wait is finally over. We officially have a date for the countdown to Sex and the City is officially on. The reboot is just like that. The new 2-minute long trailer was released yesterday, and fans were quickly brought back into the lives of Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte. The reboot follows the 3 women as they navigate life, love, and friendship in their 50s. The original HBO series ran for 6 seasons and ended back in 2004. And Just Like That will premiere December 9th on HBO Max. And just a week after his time on The Bachelorette came to an end, former NFL player Clayton Echard has been announced as the new Bachelor. So here's the scoop. He's 28 years old and from Missouri, and he was a fan favorite while he vied for the love of Michelle Young during season 25. In an interview this morning, Clayton teased his season of the show, saying that he did find love despite being skeptical going into the journey. Clayton's season for The Bachelor is set to premiere on January 3rd. Whether you know her from her acting career or her TikTok vegan recipes, Tabitha Brown is a social media sensation. And now she's sharing her gifts with children all around the world. This morning, Tabitha released the first episode of her YouTube original kids show, Tab Time. Through the 10-episode series, Tabitha explores family, helping others, music, mistakes, and so much more. And to make sure your little ones understand, she gets help from her core group of friends and a celebrity guest each episode. But the show isn't just for kiddos. Tab says there's a lesson for parents too.
We all have a child that still lives inside of us. And I hope that they receive every message that their child receives. And I know that they'll take away that, you know what, I'm doing all right as a parent, right?
And to the outside world, it may appear that Miss Tab is an overnight success story, but she says this is years in the making. Jay and Sarah, we talk about that and so much more, and I have that full interview up on WKYC.com.
Very cool that you got to sit down with her.
It was amazing. My spirit was so warm. She's such a light, and I wish I had more time to talk to her.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Look forward to watching that. Thanks, Kira.
Sure thing.
Well, today's Worth the Watch goes out to a mom and her daughters in New York after finding them covered in diaper cream. After finding the messy situation, mom thought, wrongly I might add, that it was a no-brainer to put the girls in the tub. Water will scrub it off, right? No. She spent 3 hours scrubbing before she finally threw in the towel, so to speak.
Then she turned to Facebook, of course, and she got a surge of responses on how to take the white goo off, but she needed a solution fast. So she turned to cornstarch and baby oil. First the starch, which absorbs some of the oil, then the baby oil itself, then Dawn dish soap. It took her 5 days to get the cream off. When she asked her daughters why they did this, the sisters said they wanted to look like Elsa from Frozen.
Oh, well, mission accomplished.
They got there.
I mean, look at them. You know, I'm so
gives me nightmares.
Yeah. Look, if you're a parent, you know that stuff
5
just
days.
doesn't come off.
It's thick. Yep.
Wow.
I had a friend whose daughter did this with Vaseline in her hair. It wasn't quite as white, but you still had that grease effect for multiple days. And
weeks.
the cornstarch, what I know was the secret there. So,
All right, very good.
Parents, lock up the Desitin.
Well, and they're too cute to even get mad at them.
I
You just
know.
got to say, girls, we'll get it off. Just be patient.
It's one of those stories you'll tell at their wedding.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
down
And
the
now
road.
we have pictures to prove it. Ahead in the second half hour, what's new? Now that we're into the month of December, the holiday shipping crunch is on. We're going to tell you some key dates that you'll need to keep in mind to make sure your gifts get to where they're going on time.
Also, Walmart is meeting the future with some new delivery options that might come as a big surprise to some.
I know they really did me. That story is shocking. Also, we have a really cool reunion story of a stranded motorist and a helping hand from law enforcement. You'll enjoy this one. It's our Show Us Something Good. It's coming up in the next half hour.
Hello, I am on. Mic check. Remember that first round of deadlines coming up fast here. Awesome, thank you.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin tonight with 3 things you need to know. Health officials announced early this afternoon that the COVID variant Omicron is here in the U.S. The California and San Francisco Departments of Public Health confirmed that the person who tested positive recently traveled back from South Africa. The traveler was vaccinated and has mild symptoms.
We have an update, Sarah, on the deadly shooting at a Michigan high school that happened yesterday. Authorities now say a 4th student has died. A sophomore opened fire at a high school just north of Detroit. Law enforcement officials say the suspect is 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley. Today, he was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. They are still searching through his phone, social media, and school security footage. 7 others were injured, including 1 teacher.
And the Supreme Court heard oral arguments today in the highly publicized Mississippi abortion law case that bans the procedure after 15 weeks of pregnancy. It's the biggest challenge to Roe v. Wade in nearly 3 decades. The court's conservative majority appeared willing to uphold the Mississippi law and perhaps overturn Roe, or at least its key provision, which prevents states from banning abortion before a fetus can live outside the womb around 24 weeks after conception. The final decision is not expected to be issued until June or July.
A lot of tense folks in the meantime. With that, we welcome you back to What's New, along with Sara Shookman, who's in for Betsy today. I'm Jay Crawford. And I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to do this because we love good news on What's New. I know you know that. And
I do.
You shared the news Monday, I believe, on the 7 o'clock program, Front Row. But we want to share it with our viewers just in case they may have missed it. But it is official. Isla will have a sibling in June or July? It's July, right? No, June. In June. Sara and her husband Angelo are expecting baby number 2. I love the pictures, by the way, in the announcement message. I just think it's creative, it's fun. And is there a better looking family in Northeast Ohio? I don't think so.
Well, you're very, very sweet.
Congratulations.
We're super excited, obviously, and it feels so good to have it out there. You know, I know you and I talked a little bit at 7 o'clock, and it's like the secret is sometimes the hardest part of it all, you know, especially when you're containing your excitement or not feeling so hot, which has been both the case for us. So we're very excited to share the news and just looking forward to the journey.
Well, I got to tell you, your sunny disposition came right through all of it. I didn't know you were sick for the last couple of weeks. Now, with your first one with Isla, you didn't really have any sickness that went along with it.
No, and I know everyone keeps reminding me, like, every pregnancy is different. You were saying your mom, even with 5, she couldn't guess, which was right.
Same thing.
I think we're going to wait to find out again, which we did with Isla. You know,
we did
girl
that as
or
well.
Boy, and we loved the surprise. So
the delivery room surprise is one of the best things ever. Yeah, it really is. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We are thrilled for you, and I know our viewers wanted to share that good news as well. Well, as you know, the calendar has flipped to December, and that brings with it the home stretch of holiday shopping. And with all that shopping comes even more shipping than usual.
Yeah, Isabel Lawrence learned today how the holiday shipping outlook is shaping up and what you can do to make sure your gifts get there on time.
Hi, I do apologize for your wait. How are you?
From a post office in Cleveland, Antoinette Allen is spreading smiles.
Get it out early.
During what can be a stressful time.
A rush, rush, rush. A big rush, rush, rush.
It's crunch time for holiday shipping, and USPS is projecting they'll ship between 850 to 950 million packages.
But now that it is December, to go ahead and try to get them out as soon as possible.
Last year's peak season from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day was record-setting for USPS. They delivered more than 13 billion letters, cards, and packages.
For shipping express mailing.
This year, it's expected to be 12 billion.
You ready to seal her up?
FedEx shared in a statement they are anticipating delivering 100 million more shipments this holiday season than they did in 2019. They're projecting peak shipping volumes will be up more than 10% year over year.
I don't think that we've ever seen anything like this.
At Beechwood Place, General Manager Heidi Yannick is seeing shoppers finding ways to avoid shipping their gifts in case of delays.
Post-COVID, you've really seen the heightened idea of in-store pickup. It's always kind of been there, but it's really beneficial that you're walking away with the satisfaction of having that item in your hands.
Yannick said she's seen more and more more customers opting to order online and pick up in store or have their items shipped directly to the store rather than their homes. Another option for shoppers to avoid shipping, digital gift cards.
Out of 40-10.
The biggest takeaway to get those packages to your loved ones on time, don't wait, send them as soon as you can.
All right, you're welcome. Happy holidays to you.
Isabel joins us live now on the set. So we know that every year this is a mad dash at the end, but there are some key dates that we really need to keep in mind, those shipping deadlines. What are they this year?
Absolutely, yeah. Those shipping deadlines actually creeping up on us maybe a little faster than some people are anticipating. So listen up here if you're trying to ship things. Ready? First ones to look out for, December 15th. That is for USPS retail ground, just the simple ground shipping. December 9th is FedEx Ground Economy and the freight economy option as well. And then for UPS, for you last-minute shoppers, the last day to ship using 3-day select delivery, December 21st. But that one, again, cutting it pretty close there to the deadline of Christmas Eve. So
when you hear December 9th for FedEx,
I know.
That's a week away, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that early.
No,
I mean,
but
maybe
I think
my memory
just
is faded.
the volume of everything they're dealing with
Yeah.
right now, I mean, it does make sense. We've all, I mean, if you've shopped online, you've probably experienced it in the last few weeks. I know you were saying you have.
I definitely have. I actually had to call 2 companies this week to track 2 packages because of some delays I was experiencing. So make sure you're on top of it if you're wanting to do some holiday shopping.
All right. Isabel, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, today's Wellness Wednesday is about the feeling we get tracking those deliveries. Some experts compare it to a childlike joy. A psychotherapist says it's because even the smallest positive future events can motivate us, like the package's arrival. Same goes with a hair appointment or even dinner reservations. But the therapist says it is not so much the purchase itself that brings happiness, it's the anticipation of waiting that's exciting, especially if you need a little mood boost.
See, I must be a lot different. I don't really get anxiety boost when I buy, when I order.
Really?
Or when I track. I get it when it's in my hands.
I feel
That's
like
when I'm happy.
I like that about online shopping. I feel the like double hit. I feel the retail therapy like hitting, clicking buy, and then also again when it arrives, you know, although I have to say like it is a point of contention in our house when like the Angelo comes in carrying the boxes, it's like, what is this?
Yeah,
and then there's a little bit of guilt there involved.
There's a comedian, and I'll mess up his name so I won't say it. He's extremely funny. But in fact, he's coming to Cleveland. I'm going to see him, I think, on the 9th. But one of his
Sebastian
bits,
Maniscalco.
that's it. Yes,
Yes.
I wasn't sure of the last name, and he's hilarious. But one of his bits on his social media is, "Let's see what my wife ordered from Amazon." Yeah.
And he opens the packages. It is hilarious.
She spoofed him on April Fool's Day of last year. She had all the neighbors save all the Amazon boxes, and she piled them up on the porch. And when he saw him, he was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
He's funny. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's
He's
December
fabulous.
9th.
Yeah, over at Rocket Mortgage.
Yes, I'll be there laughing, I'm sure.
Well, straight ahead here on What's New, Browns general manager Andrew Berry makes comments on the future of Baker Mayfield as well as his team's QB. We'll hear what he had to say.
Yeah, fans are very anxious to hear that. Plus, Walmart is using some pretty futuristic methods to deliver products this holiday season. We're going to tell you what they're doing. It surprised me. That's coming up. But first, Matt is back. He has our weather in a jiffy. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, guys, this time of year that we start to look at, maybe some bigger storm systems, maybe some snowstorms, rainstorms, stuff like that. So, last couple of days kind of ho-hum. This was me looking at the models today, kind of walking vicariously, and then, what's this? We'll share what this is coming up next.
That's fantastic. Welcome back to What's New. You're looking at live pictures right now from Public Square. That's where the Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, is taking place right now. Organizers will light a 12-foot tall menorah to honor the fourth night of Hanukkah. Tonight's celebration also includes traditional holiday treats, music, and activities for kids.
Looks like there's a nice turnout, even though we've got some umbrellas in that photo.
Yeah, a few.
Live pictures out there of a little bit of rain coming our way, huh, Matt?
Yeah, a little rain moving through now. It's only going to last next couple hours, and then it should be out of here. And then, hey, tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting the kids to the playground, get them out and get that energy out. I don't know about you, but you notice the rainfall chances hour by hour, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. That's when we're dealing with the showers. Then just isolated overnight tonight. I wouldn't even really buy the 15%. I really think we clear out. Clouds will remain, but at least the rain will be moving out of here. It's filled in pretty nicely. Summit County down towards Stark County, out towards the east. We're dealing with another batch now coming in to the greater Cleveland area, out towards Mentor, Painesville, and then back towards the west, Norwalk, Lorain, Elyria, seeing some pretty decent rain, just kind of steady right now. And this is a little system moving through. Bulk of the energy off to the north and the south. We're kind of in between, and the system will continue to kind of float through. But out towards our west, this is our next. Boy, I'm telling you, this pattern has just moved so quickly over the last week or so. We've had like 5 storm systems in the last 6 days. This is our next one, and it arrives tomorrow. This is a strong area low pressure. Notice the warmth on the southern end of that. That's what we get into tomorrow, but there's a lot of wind with this low as well. So it's going to be windy tomorrow, and it's going to be fairly mild as well. Look at the wind gusts. Overnight tonight, breezy, but tomorrow morning, through the midday and early afternoon hours, I think we'll have gusts over 30 at times, but the good news is it's going to bring the warmth with it. Look at temperatures tonight going backwards, right? We're going up. Should be a fairly nice start to your morning tomorrow for the bus stop, your commute to work looking good. Maybe your window down in the car. Well, maybe we're pushing it. National Design hour by hour forecast. Notice how the rain leaves. We still have some clouds tomorrow morning. Can't rule out stray showers tomorrow. This system with the bulk of the energy will be just north of us, so we could have some showers from time to time. We'll likely have some sunshine too. I know that seems like a lazy meteorologist forecast. It's going to be sunny. We're going to have clouds and rain, but that is going to be the case tomorrow. I've got 55 for a high tomorrow, and then temperatures will start to drop. Wind will shift later in the day, so the evening is looking cooler as that front goes by. All right, let's talk weekend. This is when things get active. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. We could have a series of stronger storm systems around here. This is the latest look. This is the Euro model run. So Sunday, we've been saying rain will increase throughout the daytime, likely by late evening. That still holds. We turn to rain and snow on the backside of that on Monday with the latest model run. And then look at this, brings another storm system in here with accumulating snow midweek, and then maybe another one as we get in the latter half of the week. How much snow is the Euro model saying? Pretty decent totals around here. Look at what happens just north of here. That is a foot and a half possible. Let's look at the GFS. This is the American model. That has the rain moving in Sunday, changing to snow Monday. I would agree with that. But it handles the next system differently. It kind of deepens that low more. It brings more of a rain in here midweek into the latter half of the week. And then, another system after that. How much snow? Some snow out of it, right? So we're going to stay steady as she goes in terms of the forecast. Union Home Mortgage 7-day. I've got the rain on Sunday, rain changing to snow Monday, and then I'll keep a snow on Tuesday. But keep in mind, track of the low could change that. It does look, by all indication, that the biggest impact as of right now is going to be a very windy system Sunday, Monday with that rain and snow. We'll continue to fine tune it. Jay.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Well, Walmart is rolling out some new technology to keep up with the holiday demand. Take a look at this. This truck operates without a human driver. It's bringing products from Walmart warehouses to stores in Arkansas and Louisiana. The company that makes the truck says there are sensors all around it to keep everyone safe. Right now, there is an engineer in the passenger seat just in case, but you can see where this is going. In the future, it probably will be a driverless truck. Then you've got this deal right here, and we've heard a lot of talk about this, Sarah, drones delivering packages, and Walmart is doing that right now. It's only available to people who live within 1 mile of a store in Arkansas. That, of course, is where Walmart's headquarters is located, so they're rolling out these test packages there, but that's driverless trucks. I know that's the future. I'm just not there yet. That scares me.
It's really hard to wrap your head around, but when you read some of the data on all these autonomous vehicles, they're actually safer than humans.
I know. There's been no issues yet with this truck.
especially with distracted driving and texting and doing all the things you're not supposed to be doing. I mean, at some point we will crush that threshold, I think, where we all feel like that is safer and we understand why.
Yeah.
But it's scary. It's scary to see it coming at you down the road and no one behind the wheel.
Especially with the trucks.
Right.
These aren't exactly small, and they can do a lot of damage when they hit cars.
Absolutely.
But let's just hope it all works out okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, still to come on What's New, holiday lights are popping up everywhere around Northeast Ohio. We'll share some viewers' photos of their festive lights coming up.
Plus, our Show Us Something Good is pretty cool. It's the story of a stranded motorist. That part's not cool, but this part is. How a helpful highway patrolman came along to save the night in this case. The story has a happy ending.
Mic check. We have lots of things clicking in Cleveland today, some holiday lights and a podcast.
All right, time now to see what is clicking in Cleveland, and our digital anchor Stephanie Haney has today's latest. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi there, Sarah. All right, new today, rare comments on quarterback Baker Mayfield's future with the Cleveland Browns. General Manager Andrew Berry, who is a Harvard grad and notoriously data-driven, he gave a kind of out-of-character answer. He said figuring that out is probably more art than science, and it was more about a feeling. He said, we know that Baker is tough, and they do expect, and Baker expects to play his best football down the stretch after this bye week. And it will be a big few weeks for Baker, whose contract is up after the 2022 season. Now, this week on my 3 Things to Know podcast, I finally got to talk to Ohio's Rick Leach Jr. about his time on The Bachelorette. Here's just a short clip where he tells me how his family reacted to him talking about his dad cheating on his mom on national television.
Not the most well-received, I think, statement that's ever came out of my mouth that my family's heard. I think I was opening up and trying to be vulnerable with somebody that I think see potential with, and they understood that, but it was tough. Let's just put it that way. It was definitely tough and something that I had to talk with family about and just kind of tell them where I was coming from.
Now, Rick's dad is no longer with us, but he told me not to worry. He and his mom are close, and their relationship will be just fine. For more from Rick, like his current relationship status, you can find the full podcast at WKYC.com/3thingstoknow. And now we have our 3 News viewers showing us some of their holiday lights, so let's get right to it. This first one comes from Ron Piscatello in Macedonia, Ohio. Love how he has those floodlights, adding the extra red and green splashes of color and those subtle string lights across the top there. And Rick Dragon in Ashtabula gives us a peek inside his house where his pup Miles doesn't know what to think of his train. You see him kind of giving things a little side eye there. It is an absolutely beautiful treat. Now, Jay, Sarah, yesterday, Winston tried to eat a glittery blue snowflake, so that's where we're at. How are Layla and Maddie and Basil doing with the decorations?
Mine are fine with it. I also share my home with a cat. Notice I didn't say I have a cat. My wife has a cat. We share that space. And for the first couple years, she didn't like it at all. But now it's just like, oh yeah, okay, here it's been 11 months. Here comes the tree again. So she's fine.
Yeah, Basil doesn't seem to mind either. I feel like I'm more worried about Isla pulling. Like,
How is Isla with it?
More delicate. We didn't put anything glass like on the bottom, third of the tree.
That's smart. That's
it's
smart.
all the like wooden ornaments or stuff that you're not worried she pulls off. Because that has happened to me.
Hayes was at our home after we put it up the day after Thanksgiving, and she put everything down the day after Thanksgiving. I mean, like, she just couldn't stop taking things off of it.
Isla likes to go back and forth, but she hasn't quite figured out,
how
the
to hook
hooks
it.
yet.
Yeah, same here. That's great.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Okay, Steph, thanks. If you've ever been stranded on the side of a highway at 2 a.m., and I hope you haven't, but if you have, you know that feeling of despair. Our Show Us Something Good is how that scenario actually had a happy ending.
Of 8,000. Hey, testing 1 2 3 4. Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1 2 3 4. Omicron variant has been confirmed in the United States. Here's Chief White House Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay. The Department of Health of a single, spike in COVID cases of 8,900.
Hello, I got you. Thank you.
We wrap it up with our Show Us Something Good. Comes from the Canton area. A state trooper there helped a woman stranded on the side of a very busy highway. He helped her get home to her family just in time for Thanksgiving.
This is so neat. And our cameras were there when they reunited for the first time since it all unfolded. Marissa Sines reports.
November 19th. Nearly 2 o'clock in the morning.
You doing all right?
It's cold. Snowflakes are falling. Inside of the car, Elise Gaffney and her dog Hank, as cars dashed by on Highway 77. They'd been driving for hours, coming home from college in Tennessee for Thanksgiving.
My tire literally exploded.
She says not even 5 minutes later, an Ohio State trooper pulled up behind her. That's when she got the help she was so desperately looking for.
You want me to try to change it for you? Yeah, absolutely.
The almost 6-year veteran state trooper was this man, Evan Hill.
I told her, well, I'm out here. Instead of waiting out here in the cold, I'll do what I can and try to help you out. So I got some tools out and started working on trying to get the tire out.
Her spare tire rusted underneath her car, not suitable as a replacement. That's when Hill took his generosity a step further.
I told her, don't worry about it. I don't care how far it is. We'll get you wherever you need to be.
Following the Thanksgiving holiday, we helped them reunite.
Okay, well, we have somebody we'd like for you to talk to. Do you recognize this man right here?
Hello, yes.
The dialogue between the two, wholesome, with messages of gratitude.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just really feel like you went above and beyond.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I appreciate that. I'm just glad I stumbled upon you, was able to get you home.
Yeah, that's a great story. Hill says it was nothing short of just doing his job. Elise did make it back to her car and is now back in Tennessee at school. That's really cool.
That is so cool that he took the time to do that in such a busy time. I mean, it's scary to be out there on your own trying to change a tire or just even waiting for AAA to show up.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially on 77.
Yeah.
To protect and
guy.
serve.
Absolutely.
And that night, he did both. That's pretty cool.
So true.
Out of time, back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
Thanks for joining us. What Matters Most with Russ starts right now.
Now at 6, Omicron in America.
This new variant is a cause for concern, but not a cause for panic.
Health officials confirm the first case of the dangerous new COVID variant is now in the United States. Also, arguments underway.
This is a historic day for the pro-life movement.
If this law is upheld by the Supreme Court, and that would really cause chaos.
The Supreme Court begins hearing arguments that could overturn Roe v. Wade. Help wanted. Cleveland Mayor-elect Justin Bibb is looking for a few good men and women for some top positions in his new administration. And ready to ship.
A rush, rush, rush. A big rush, rush, rush.
If your holiday gifts are bought and ready for wrapping, we'll tell you why the experts say shipping them earlier this season is better.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell. Tonight, new developments in the pandemic. The first case of the Omicron variant has been confirmed in the United States. Here's Chief White House Medical Advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The California and San Francisco Departments of Public Health and the CDC have confirmed that a recent case of COVID-19 among an individual in California was caused by the Omicron variant. The individual was a traveler who returned from South Africa on November the 22nd and tested positive on November the 29th.
This comes on news today from the Ohio Department of Health of a single-day spike in COVID cases at 8,944. That's a little over 2,000 more than yesterday and the highest daily average we have seen in weeks. And the number of new hospitalizations remains high at 420. The state says anything over 100 is cause for concern. And the increase in this first day of December is raising questions about travel in the weeks to come. Sara Shookman reports.
Omicron just arrived, but concern over the coronavirus and its newest variant is looming large ahead of a busy season for gathering and traveling.
We'll fight this variant with science and speed, not chaos and confusion.
As the Biden administration considers new travel guidelines, the World Health Organization is advising people 60 and up or those with underlying conditions to postpone all travel. The White House is encouraging everyone eligible get boosted.
I think the big theme is to try to get your booster, within the next 2 weeks to make sure that for the big holiday week at the end of the year that you have as much immunity going into that as possible.
Dr. Joseph Cabaza says Cleveland Clinic is seeing about 15% of its positive tests are breakthrough infections. Local docs agree it's time to take stock of your own risk tolerance, but staying safe doesn't have to mean staying home.
Just traveling in itself, if you are up to speed on your immunity, it's going to be pretty low risk.
It's been a long time since we've all been around our families and friends, and that too is dangerous for our health. And so I do encourage people to, spend time with their family and just figure out the safest way to do that.
Dr. David Margolius with Metro Health says that's vaccination. Rapid testing, ventilation, and other strategies can help mitigate risks.
I am planning vacations. I am reconnecting with friends I haven't seen and family that I haven't seen. And so I think that's important, and I do think we're so much safer than we were a year ago this time because of the vaccine.
Now, tomorrow, President Biden is expected to announce some perhaps more stringent testing requirements, particularly for international travel. He said today, though, that those would not include any shutdowns or lockdowns. They would focus more on preventative measures to help get us through this winter ahead.
A lot of folks concerned about possible lockdowns and stuff, but you said the president right now, not happening.
That's what he says. So we'll stand by and see if we can learn more tomorrow.
Okay, Sarah, thanks so much. A day after a killing spree inside a Michigan high school that left 4 teenagers dead and 7 wounded, a 15-year-old student now faces multiple charges. Investigators say surveillance video shows the killing spree began as the gunman walked out of a bathroom and methodically moved through hallways, at times firing into classrooms. Officers have pulled evidence from the family home of the suspect.
1 count of terrorism causing death, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 12 counts of possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony.
3 victims were pronounced dead yesterday. A 4th died today. New tonight, the wife of music business legend Clarence Avant has been shot and killed in a home invasion. Police say 81-year-old Jacqueline Avant was sleeping when men broke into her